Okay, this is the center console, overhead console for the 1996 Ford Bronco out of my Eddie Bauer. There's a screw here which is still in there that holds it in place, and then you have to open the garage door section here, and there's two more screws that hold it up to the roof of the Bronco. In here is the electronic unit that snaps in here, and then this here snaps into the plug that comes from the ceiling that runs your lights and the unit. And there's a couple of things you have to do here. There's two screws here, or three screws, one here, and one here for the electronic unit. Then there's these tabs that are holding it in. You have to bend them out of the way here. It's the only way to get it out, and then you really kind of have to finagle it out. Now this unit that's in here is going to a service where they're gonna replace the chips, and then the temperature and the direction should work. We'll find out when it returns. Should be there today. But the unit is pretty easy to remove out of the ceiling, but this unit takes a little bit of finagling, especially because these little tabs here have to be bent over, and you kind of have to finagle it out. I used plastic body molding to sort of get underneath it, to sort of pry up the edges, and then it comes out like that kind of. So I'll let you know how it all turns out, and I'll show you when it's all back in. I'll also show you where it goes back in the Bronco when the unit gets here, and then the screw holes and whatnot to put it back up. Okay, hang loose. Okay, we got the piece back from Module Mechanics, and it's in the Bronco. So let's go in there. Okay, we're in the Bronco now. As you can see, I've got the console back in. Just a reminder that there's two screws here, 1, 2, and then one up front, and then there's a clip in the back. And once you get the, I put these two screws in first to get it just sort of loosely fit, so I could screw in the front. And then when everything's done, this will be down. So right here, press there. Don't press out here. Press here. That seemed to snap the clip in on the back right here. If I pushed in here, much better than here. It would bend it. It would bend it if I pushed it out here. So push in there, that's better. All right, let's see if this baby works, shall we? Well, now. It's a hot day. So it's 90 degrees and I'm pointing south. All right, hang loose.
Hey everybody, I thought I would do an afterword to this little piece on the overhead console and the display unit in the 1996 Bronco. I sent my unit to Module Mechanics, as you can see here on your screen. I'll leave a link down in the description. And there's nothing I can say bad about these people. They are quick, professional, and very helpful if you had any questions or have any questions about their service. And they do a lot of other things as well. You should peruse their site. So anyway, I just want to up front say I'm very happy with Module Mechanics, and I do recommend them, especially if you don't have the time or expertise to fix your unit. Now, while I was rooting around on the internet after I sent it off, I ran across this post. Now, I want to at least state one thing. There is a common problem with the overhead module from the 1992 to 1996 Broncos, and I do believe it's even in some of these Explorers, Ford Explorers, around these years. Maybe predating 92. I don't remember, but certainly some of the stuff in the Explorers will transfer over if the unit is totally shot. And that's the one thing. There are a few things that you need to know. That is, you could fix this yourself, and I possibly could have. If I had known about it, I might have tried. But there's a lot of things can go wrong. There is a certain capacitor that usually goes out, as I will show you right here, that's circled. This little guy right here is the one that usually goes out. And if you can take a technician's soldering iron, not a soldering gun, and remove the pins, you could put the new one with the right polarity in that slot, put it back in, and it could work. However, there are some things that do go wrong that are probably beyond the capability of any novice to fix. And that is if the capacitor leaks too much, or if there is some sort of break, the circuit board is probably ruined. Now, you might be able to clean some stuff up and resolder some areas, but if it leaks too badly, it can ruin the whole circuit board. The other thing to know is that it might not be just this capacitor. It could be this capacitor and something else on your unit that's broken or has failed. However, that said, this is like a 23-cent part. And if you can, I'll put links in the description of where you can get this capacitor if you want to try this yourself. And hey, it's worth a try. According to this guy, most of the time and that's where I'll send you the link to, by the way, is DigiKey. There's another look at the capacitor. Most of the time, this is the capacitor that fails. But look, you could have broken welds. You could have any number of things. So anyway, that's the afterword. And again, I'm not taking anything away from Module Mechanics. They do a great service. And if you don't have the time or the skill set to sort of go fishing and see if this, like just changing out one capacitor, works, then I would send it to them, because they could do a more thorough job of fixing your unit. Okay? All right. Hang loose. Links in the description.